Good day. This is your grade 9 English teacher, Ana Victory C. Lagrasas. How are you today? Hope everything is great and amazing. Before we start the lesson, let's have a short prayer to enlighten our mind and uplift our spirits listening to the lessons later.
Our loving and generous God, we praise and thank you for the bountiful blessings you have given us. Thank you for giving us a mind that can know and a heart that can love. Thank you for giving us the chance to continue learning amidst the pandemic that have caused a lot of changes in our lives. We are sorry for the times we have failed you. We humbly ask for your forgiveness. Father, help us to focus on our studies. When learning becomes difficult, grant us the gifts of courage and enthusiasm. Grant us the courage to use our knowledge in making a difference into the lives of the people around us. All this we pray in your mighty name. Amen.
Here is the objective of our lesson for today.
Make connections between texts to particular social issues, concerns, or dispositions in real life.
Let us check if you still remember our previous lesson on adverbs. I have here an activity for you to answer on adverbs.
Directions. Identify the adverb in the sentence and identify its type. Number 1. Rufina surprisingly saw the cat on the sidewalk. Number 2. Today, Mother is inspired. Number 3. The boys were extremely nice to the new student. Number 4. Jane always brings his dog. And number 5. Shani moved away. Here are the answers for the adverb activity. Number 1. Surprisingly, adverb of manner. Number 2. Today, adverb of time. Number 3. Extremely, and adverbs of degree. Number 4, always, and the adverbs of frequency. And number 5, away, and adverb of place. So, do you have your answers? Is it correct? Okay, good job.
Now, let us have our unlocking of difficulties. These are words that will be found on the article that we will read later.
The first word is asymptomatic, of a condition or a person producing or showing no symptoms. Number 2, isolation is a state of being in a place or situation that is separate from others, the condition of being isolated. Number 3, leery, cautious or wary due to realistic suspicions. Number 4, philanthropist, a person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially by the generous donations of money to good causes.
So you have now learned new words. Great job! Clips or videos that will awaken your mind and evoke your spirit to what is happening in the world we live in today. Watch carefully and listen.
Teenage pregnancy is now a national social emergency. And to address this, a national summit seeking to develop a call to action and comprehensive policies for the youths were conducted. PTV correspondent Mika Hoson filed this report.
More and more youth are engaging in premarital sex. According to a study, 1 in 3 Filipino youth has engaged in premarital sex in 2013.
Good morning, I'm Rain Musni. Here are the news making headlines on the COVID-19 pandemic. Police in Vienna begin implementing the so-called lockdown for the unvaccinated. Authorities carried out spot checks on the vaccination status of shoppers as part of pandemic measures introduced Monday. In groups of 4, officers checked people walking in and out of shops along one of the Austria's capital's busiest cities or streets. Austria has imposed a lockdown on the unvaccinated as winter approaches and as infections rise across Europe. About 2 million people who refuse to get a COVID shot are now only allowed to leave their homes for a limited number of reasons, like traveling for work or shopping for essentials. Europe has again become the epicenter of the pandemic, prompting some countries to consider reintroducing restrictions and stirring debate over whether vaccines alone are enough to tame COVID-19.
Now, Japan is the third largest economy in the world, and with unemployment rates below 3%, it is also thought to have pretty strong social safety nets. But the pandemic has hit Japan, and it has now revealed the hidden poverty in the nation. Our next report gets you all the details.
Yuichiro was a construction worker until the pandemic hit and robbed him of his job. Now he survives by relying on charity. And he is not alone. The coronavirus pandemic has pushed many over the poverty line.
In Japan, this doesn't get reported much in the media, but many people are sleeping at train stations and in cardboard boxes. Some are dying of hunger. Many are going hungry. It's hard. Many people don't have things to eat. Once I saw homeless people, but now a lot of young people are in the same situation.
In an horrific incident, a woman was raped on a suburban Philadelphia train. The police said that there were a lot of people around who should have done something. Several passengers on a moving train saw the accused sexually assault a woman, but they did not intervene. A 35-year-old man is now facing criminal charges for rape and assault. The attack took place on the night of October the 13th. The assault, recorded on the train's surveillance cameras, went on for 8 minutes. The man sat next to the woman and tried to start a conversation with her. Over the next few minutes, when she kept rejecting his advances, the accused was seen getting aggressive. He ripped off her clothes and raped her. Several people...
What are these different headlines about that you had seen earlier on the videos and clips? Your answers are correct. It was on social issues and concerns in our life.
Social issue is defined as concern problem recognized by society, and it prevents people from functioning to an optimal level.
I have here an article for us to read with the title, Workers Help Philippine Cemetery Community Through COVID-19. Let us read this one together.
The article that we are about to read is tackling on different social issues. COVID-19 hasn't slowed down philanthropists like Ashley Bruno. She is still helping those in need through the current World Health pandemic. Bruno from Surrey, British Columbia, has been working for the Pollination Project, TPP, an international non-profit organization whose mission is to spark goodness and compassion in every person through a daily practice of generosity and grant making. As of 2019, TPP has awarded 3,500 grants to grassroots leaders totaling more than $4 million in over 110 countries. Bruno works in a cemetery in Manila, the capital city of the Philippines, where 300 families and hundreds of children literally live among graves. Days after lockdown, due to COVID-19 in this community, Bruno began hearing that the families she served were panicking. Children already missed several meals. The government in the area is leery, of allowing people to distribute aid because the situation is desperate and they worry it might be unsafe for volunteers. According to officials from the Pollination Project, however, since Fruno was already known and respected, they made an exception. She was awarded a grant from the Pollination Project for her efforts through its COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund. Fruno spends her time prioritizing families with children, but makes sure everyone has enough staples like rice and beans to last 3 weeks. She brings foods for pets too. Fruno is a longtime animal rights activist. She hasn't had a day off in 5 months. She's one of 3,943 TPP grantees working in 115 countries. What it's been like for her working through COVID-19? Terrifying, Fruno told CMS Wire. We learned that there is COVID case in the cemetery community. Perhaps the worst news is that the COVID patient who is asymptomatic and was only tested prior to admission to a hospital to give birth was sent home. She returned to a community in which isolation is impossible and therefore has infected countless others. Fruno said she and countless other volunteers like her don't take this risk lightly. And we are terrified, she said. I think I can speak from all the volunteers who have committed to bring their in saying that we're scared. Scared of getting sick, scared of making others sick, scared we won't be able to handle the heat in a personal protective equipment PPE suit, but our community is undoubtedly more scared than us. They're not just scared of the virus, but scared of going hungry. They're scared of not being able to feed their children. Fruno, pictured far left in the photo, said they understand that the cemetery community's movement are likely to be further restricted, and sadly, Fruno added, the cemetery residents may be stigmatized. We know that this community needs us now more than ever, she said, and that is reason enough for us to soldier on.
After reading and listening to the story, I have questions for you to answer. And here are the questions. The first one, who is the philanthropist that helped the community? Second, where is the location where the helping took place? The third one, what was the reason she chose the community where food will be given? The fourth is, what food staple are given to the community? And the fifth one, what social issues is focused on this article? We will answer this one later on. Do we have the same answers? Check your papers and I will tell you the answers.
Here are the answers. Number 1, the philanthropist is Ashley Fruno. Number 2, the location, cemetery in Manila. Number 3, she chose this place because poverty and hunger is prevalent due to the lockdowns. Number 4, the food staples that were given to the families were rice and beans. And number 5, the social issue that was focused here are poverty, hunger, and the COVID-19 pandemic.
They say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I have this picture for you to look at closely. Okay. What social issue is depicted here? How will you show your concern to this issue? I'll give you time to answer this one. I'll get back to you. Wow! Amazing answers, students, about the picture. We have different answers for this because we have different understanding of the social issues that is concerning all of us. It's evaluation time. Let us check your understanding on the lesson. Get your pens and 1/2 sheet of paper. Let us answer this one.
Test 1. Multiple choice. Encircle the correct answer regarding questions on social issues. Number 1. A homeless man is wandering along the streets asking for food and a drink. You are the one that he asked for help. What would you do? A. Ignore him. B. Call the police to arrest the homeless. Letter C. Give him money to buy food. And letter D. Walk away. So, the answer is letter C. Give him money to buy food. Number 2. Which of the following is considered as a social issue? A. Teen using a beach to build a bonfire. Letter B. A boy throwing rocks in the pond. Letter C. A high school girl becomes pregnant. And letter D. A mom takes away the phone of his child. Now think about your answer. The correct answer is letter C. A high school girl becomes pregnant. It is teen pregnancy. Number 3 question. Some 100,000 Chinese based in the Philippines were inoculated with the COVID-19 vaccine in December 2020. According to the prominent Filipino civic leader Teresita Angsi, we should A. Unfollow our Chinese friends in social media. Letter B. Ask for vaccines from the Filipino Chinese. Letter C. Wait for the vaccine approved by the FDA. The best answer to this is letter C. Wait for the vaccine approved by the FDA. Number 4. Climate change has caused declining water supplies, reduced agricultural yields, increased heat and drought. We should, letter A, take part in helping save Mother Earth like recycling waste, planting trees, and using renewable energy. Letter B, post some tips to save Mother Earth on social media. And letter C, discuss climate change in science class and prepare a PowerPoint presentation. The best answer is letter A. Take part in helping save Mother Earth like recycling waste, planting trees, and using renewable energy. Number 5. Press freedom has become a contentious point in the conflict between those who are protesting in Congress, refusal to grant broadcast network ABS-CBN Corporation a franchise, and those who accept the decision. We should A. Share sympathy on social media and ask others to do the same. Letter B. Not mind the issue and watch other TV channels. And letter C. Gather information and engage in constructive discussion about it. The best answer is letter C. Gather information and engage in constructive discussion about it. The second part of the evaluation is encircle the words that are example of social issues in the box below. Teenage pregnancy, poverty, hunger, social media, communication barrier, racism, age gap, sexual abuse. The answers are teenage pregnancy, poverty, hunger, racism, and sexual abuse.
We have now come to an end, but we will still continue our learning at home with an assignment. So here is the assignment. Hope you learned something today. English is fun. English is amazing. See you next time.